What up? What up? Welcome into Pregaming here, Sports Money. TGI Monday, new week, new opportunity to stack that cash. But no different than what it was last week. The new week starts just like the old week there, smashing them up, punching them right in the face, getting that cash. A big start from the show plays that were given out there on the sesh. Now we roll in here to Sports Money and Pregaming. We got a big week on deck for Sports Money. It's going to be back in action. We're going to bring on MMA Jeff to give us a scope around the scene that is Sports Money this week. Told you guys we got lots of things in the works. We got soccer coming up with some Euro and some Copa. We got ourselves action in Major League Baseball tonight. No WNBA. So tonight is kind of just a little shorty pants slate there. We've got Wimbledon rolling here. Third round turns into the fourth round. We've got ourselves some plays for Wimbledon overnight action, or technically early morning action. Hopefully we made some tennis fans out of everybody up and out there. Tricky, though. Tricky. I saw something come across the pike today that a favorite hasn't won on the men's side at Wimbledon, or I'm sorry, a dog hasn't won on the men's side at Wimbledon in 26 days. 26 days of Wimbledon action. Chalk fest. And you're going to pay the juice to pay that chalk. So we're going to try to find some creative ways. We're going to attack the women's side of the slate, and then we will get everybody out and here to move on to the rest of their Monday. Guys, hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Hopefully all your fingers are intact. Hopefully the animals' anxiety has calmed down from all those fireworks banging off all over the place. And hopefully you guys are getting paid with us here. We took Saturday off. We did a little backstage for boxing. It was a lot of fun. We made a ton of cash. Shout out to Nate Diaz. You guys know the deal here. I don't think anybody anywhere on this planet does it better than what we do on Saturdays. I'm fucking convinced. I stand behind it, but appreciate everybody rocking with us, man. You guys have done a great job. Really appreciate the support. Hitting the like videos, giving the comments out there. All great stuff. I can see that I get the trend and the metric reports from what's going on with YouTube, and it is growing. So I do very much appreciate you guys taking that opportunity to watch the video. Please listen to them through the end. Don't just drop off after the first 30 seconds of a minute video. It means a ton. I don't know why, but the more you guys listen to them, the longer they go. That helps the algorithm. It gets us moving. We're getting more views. And listen, we're growing. Membership, we're trying to get to that 500. We'll have a nice big giveaway when we get there. But enough of all of that, you guys. It's time to get to work. We've got ourselves a small Major League Baseball slate. But that don't mean we can't get paid. You guys know the deal. Hit that thumbs up. Show the support. Let's get in to see what's going on. You're going to want to get a pen and paper so you can write down the plays that we share here. I know MMA Jeff's got a parlay for us here in Major League Baseball. Get ready for that. He's been firing his plays of the day. He's rolling. And I'm looking forward to talking about that. And then, of course, the chat. The sharpest chat in the game. We've been working together for a long time, getting better, all trying to fine-tune these eagle eyes of ours to see how we're going to go beat these bookies over the head. And I think we're getting there. We are certainly getting there. Let's start off with the chat. We'll pop in. We'll get Jeff on here, and then we will jump in and finish up the action and get everybody on their way for this Monday in the dog days of summer. Hot and steamy all over the country. And we've been seeing that wreak havoc in Major League Baseball with these totals. But shout out the first guy up in the chat here. Oh, man. Joe T must be sleeping. I know he got himself a new computer, but there's Deer Slayer Ski in the house. He says, "What's up, Mikey? Hello, all. Hell of a weekend. Most of my plays will be linked to England to advance. Looking forward to some UFC this weekend. Let's have a night, brother. I will be tailing." And he says the England match is on Wednesday. It's all good. It's all good. I thought it was yesterday or tomorrow, too. I thought they all played tomorrow. I was like, man, we got Copa and Euros. I had to double take Deer Slayers. It happens. There's my guy, Justin McAlvey, with the stacks. Play of the day is in. Spencer Steer over 1.5 bases at plus 112. Oldie says, "What's up, fam?" There's my guy, New Jersey Striker. Good to see him. Says, "What's good, Mike?" Gerald Jones says, "What's good, Pimp and Crew? Great weekend of betting. Best bet, Cincinnati Reds. -0.5 in the first 5 for Gerald Jones. Taking that Reds team and running with it." Oldie says, "Reds are moneyline -170, run line +120. Twins are moneyline -200, run line -130. This is the fuckery that drives me insane." Well said. Kenny Woods in the house. It's good to see you, Ken. Amsterdam, what else? Oldie says, I only have one bet today. Green on the Tigers. Local boy down here, bases over for green from our guy Oldie. The Futon bet says Andrew Abbott, under 2.5 earned runs. Sup, buddy? Let's get this cash. Sup, Futon Bets. Good to see you, man. Welcome back. Welcome. Happy Monday. And there's Keith. Every stride's rocking. He says, what's up, Mike? He likes the Diamondbacks. First 5 money line plus 105. Diaz debut looks good in minors. And Braves traveled from East Coast starting. Not a stellar pitcher. Have a great show and let's cash. There's some big news out there. The starting pitching has changed for the Atlanta Braves. No longer are they bumping out there Chris Sale. So make sure if you guys are looking to get advantage in that game, you check back again because the action bets will carry forward. But listed pitcher bets and first 5 bets will certainly have been canceled out at this point. Most of the spots. Winner Circle has Chris Sale over 6.5 Ks. There we go. Speaking of Chris Sale. Winner Circle, check it out, my guy. Literally late breaking news. Likes Lulu Sun on the money line in women's tennis out there. The star of having fucking 9 lives like a cat. I mean, she was almost eliminated in the qualifying rounds. And here she is, backs against the wall, continuing to run and gun Lulu Sun for Winner Circle. Justin McKelvey says, oldie, hell yeah, that's fuckery. Rob McMahon says, what's good, Mike Money in the pre-gaming family? Haka Vodka style. Hashtag Vodka style. We gotta get a shirt that says that. We gotta get some shirts in production here for you guys. Flea Mathis in the house. Kelly V. KD says, hey, y'all. Looks like Sale not going. FY leader on Roto Wire listed. Oh, FYI elder. I missed that I. Johnny C says, what's going on with the lines in that Braves game? It's the starting pitcher change. Rodney M. Fritz won today. He was an underdog. That's right. That's right. He did. Big comeback, too. Big comeback in that one there. Shout out to my guy, Ramon Scott. I know he liked them on the morning steam today. I tailed him. I jumped in there at plus 250 on top of that. How about that? Shout out to Ramon Scott. Kelly V says, John, Sale not going. Rob McMahon says, smash the like fam. And Kelly V says, both soccer plays parlayed together was plus 160. Nice. We got that soccer cash today. Little both teams to score in Norway. Let's go, Markel. Nicholas Handy out there. Kelly V says, Buxton, minus 220 interprop. 9 at bats, 7 hits versus Flexen. Sexy Flexy is going to be rolling out there for the White Sox. Gerald Jones says, I think Sale, Atlanta scratched. Yep. Fletcher Berry says, yo. Tarek B says, what's up, Big Mike? The Rangers game over. And Kelly B says, Texas Simeon and Seager hit plus 150. There we go. LA traveled and Texas playing well. Joe T says, what the fuck? Where's my comment? I posted it like 9. Joe T, I put that shit out last night too. At like 10:30 last night. The link was out there for you. I don't know what happened. I don't know. AOD says, Mike M forever. Markel says, do I get my money back if pitcher is scratched in the Braves game? Markel, it's a great question. Me personally, I always play action. I don't care about the listed pitcher because predominantly, I'm not taking a ton of first 5s. I guess this year I have taken a lot more first 5s, but I think there's more to be said for the bullpen and the hitters, not the starting pitchers. So I always play action. A lot of you guys do play listed pitcher. Those are your 2 options, action or listed. And listed would mean the starter, when you make the bet, has to play. If they don't play, then they should refund your money. First 5s are a different story. Again, I take action on everything. If I'm taking a first 5, though, I do get a little sweaty when this happens, but I do play action because usually I like to get involved with totals too. And I do believe, even though here's the overreaction, everybody sees it's not Sale anymore. They're going to just go pound on this Arizona team. It's not Sale. It's not Sale. We'll see what happens. All those hitters for Arizona, looking at how they can get to Sale, looking at their notes over the history, working with the batting coaches, all prepped for Chris Sale. Now all of a sudden, boom, 11th hour, last minute change. And I do believe that favors the short notice pitcher to go out there and try to scrub everybody right over the head with the bat, so to speak. But let's go. Markel says, I had Chris Sale, 8K. Yeah, that should definitely be refunded. Keith says, hit the like button for Mike and Sports Money, baby. JP's, he says, what up, motherfuckers? Guardians and under 8.5 at plus 234. I love the 2 spot there. Peasy rocking with us out there, you guys. Make sure you check it out. His video is out there on X, on YouTube. It's ready to go. we're waiting to see what just happened here. What just happened here? Oh, we have found out that the new shelf life for the new mouse is only 3 days long, which is fine. The cord's right there. Joe T says, Joe T, fuck the under play of the day. Yeah. Joe T, fuck the under play of the day. The Twins first 5 team total over 2.5. The fuck the under play of the day. Yeah. I like it, Joe T. I liked over the top, but you're not a movie watcher, but I like it. Julian Cesario says, what up, fam? Cards looking good. 3 more outs. Let's get to work, you guys. We got our guy backstage. He's ready to come in and talk to us about what's going on. I know he was on a little hiatus this weekend as well. Gonzo, it's good to see you. But let's bring in star of First Strike, coming in ready to roll off that huge weekend for UFC before the 4th of July. Let's bring on MMA Jeff. We got a little update coming around what's happening with sports money. Obviously, we had that big week. Last UFC contest there, 4-0. I think we ended up, somebody had said it in one of the chats I was in, 9 of 12, I believe, is what we ended up rocking out there for that entire fight night. And we're back in action again. How was your 4th of July?
That was fantastic, like usual. Nice enjoying some time at home. And, unfortunately, we did not have UFC this weekend, but we're going to be ready to strike it this upcoming weekend. I think we have 11 fights on the card, and they're going to be fighting in Elevation in Colorado. So looking forward to that one. I know there was a lot of rematches or remake on different fights. I had Macy Barber was supposed to fight Doug Rose, and Tracy jumped in there, Cortez. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it shakes out and how the lines look at the start of these fights.
Lots of fun fighting in Elevation. So make sure you guys take note as you start looking at your handicaps for the fighting this week. Elevation. Potential gas out situations, especially for older fighters. We're going to get into it, but Jeff, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about what's happening this week. Obviously, we'll start off. We know we got First Strike coming in off the big 4-0. That's going to be Wednesday. We're going to record that thing. But let's talk a little bit about what you got going on. I know you're taking a different strategy with the UFC as far as the pre-made plays of the day, if you will, or the pre-made videos. Why don't you talk a little bit about what's going on?
Well, I'd like to get some more chat involvement. And I threw a tweet out there, I believe it was yesterday, sometime in the afternoon, evening, just trying to get some interaction. If you guys want specific fight breakdowns instead of me picking a fight, feel free to shoot a message back in that tweet, and I can certainly look into something that you guys are interested in ultimately. I don't want to just go out and pick a blah fight nobody cares about. So if anyone's got any interest in a fight, certainly shoot it out there in the on X, and I'll take a look into that one and do a breakdown on Wednesday.
I like the approach too, because it might not even be something that we give on First Strike, but it'll be something that we make sure if you guys are looking for it, given a detailed analysis so that there's not everybody going around the table saying, I don't have a play on this one. If it's something you guys want to hear, we'll dig in and we'll give you our best feedback and what we think are strategies and edges to try to get paid on that fight. So make sure you go out there and see what's going on. JM Hockey 19 on X. He's got that post out there. I think it was around 9:30 last night. So in the comment section, guys, make sure you throw the fights that you're interested in, or even the ones you're most excited in, so that we can make sure we do a deeper dive and hit you guys between the eyes with the spots you want to see and hear. And maybe collectively we can all work together to find a better way to get us paid on those main card events and some of those other spots that maybe they are blah to us, but there's something you guys want to see. So Mel's in the chat, Jeff. Mel says, Jeff M and Mike, best bet. Hunter Goodman under a half a hit at plus 110.
I see you there, dear Slayer. I do got to say, that fight intrigues me quite a bit because Cortez took it on short notice, and Doug Rose trains in Colorado, so I think Cortez is going to gas out in that one. Personally, I have not played it yet, but there's an early look for you. Seems like you're on board with that as well.
Well, let's go. Let's talk about what's going on this week here. We'll get you up out of here. We want to hear what's happening around the world of sports money, and then let's hear that parlay piece that you have for us to get paid today.
Yeah, we got a big week coming up. Jay Peasy always throwing out his play of the day videos. Make sure you check those out as well. Those have been pretty profitable. Always good to see some guys giving out the content on a daily basis. Gokster gave out 2 back-to-back first-round winners for the for the golf event. And then he gave the outright winner of Davis Thomas. So he's going to be putting another video together later this week. So keep an eye out for that one as well. And then, as you had mentioned, First Strike coming off a 4-0 week off the hiatus. And we're going to be rolling again Saturday live. So it's going to be a pretty exciting week of money making.
Lots of fun. Let's talk about money making for tonight, and then we'll let you get out there with the pup. Sounds like the pup's ready to get into some action. So tell us about your action. What's the play of the day? I know you've come out here, no pressure, but a nice 2-0 start on the play of the days for you. I know you're tracking it. You're excited about it, trying to find those spots to make it happen. So tell us what you got for us tonight.
I like, there's obviously being a smaller slate. I ended up rolling a parlay. I took the Twins on the money line and the Rangers, and that took two favorites, significant favorites, and brought it to plus 160 for me. So I'm rolling with that tonight.
Texas and Twins plus 160 said, fuck the run lines. Just go out there and get it done. On that Heat says, I thought my phone was barking.
No, I apologize, guys.
All good, Jeff. We know you got some work to do this week. Got to get into the lab and start looking for some MMA breakdowns, and we're going to be excited about seeing First Strike. So good stuff. Appreciate you sharing. And Lou Betches says, Jeff, you aren't dead. Jeff is not.
Of course not. They can't keep me down.
Appreciate
you having me on, and good luck on all the bets.
Sounds good, Jeff. Thank you.
Thanks,
See you
guys.
later. Onward and upward we go, you guys. There you go. Jeff's starting off his card. He's got Texas and Minnesota to get this thing rolling. We're going to talk about, I think we're going to talk about both those games. So let's go. I am not absent of action here for you guys. I've got 3 games in this remainder of the MLB slate. I'm tempted just right now, so you guys know. Lou says you gave a soccer pick and died. Yeah, Jeff had a big 1-0. Man, if you guys missed it, don't be sleeping on these content that we put out there for you guys with these videos and things like that, because that Euro tournament and the breakdown we did, first of all, man, I was up. We were winning like crazy on Wednesday, and then I was up all night drinking and getting after it. And Thursday for the 4th of July pops around, 9 a.m. We're fucking shooting a video for you guys, talking about what we think about these 4 breakdowns. We had Dan Doherty out there in Australia. We had our guy Subhuman Gaucho. We had Lou Betcha coming into the universe there to share with us his plays. And collectively, man, we were cashing plus 400s, 500s, 600s. Told you, man, don't sleep on what's happening here with sports money. We're trying to give you guys the best looks we have across the board. Maybe we made some new soccer fans. Maybe some of you guys just got paid a shitload and did some nice cash outs. We talked some boxing. We had all kinds of stuff going on. But tonight, the night of nights to go out there. Simple, smaller card. We're going to rest up. Going to get to work. Got a lot of things happening in the production lab. But 7:10 p.m. We got the Rockies and the Reds. And big reverse line movement coming in here. This line opened up for the Reds at minus 180. Why wouldn't it be? They've been crushing everything out there. It's moved to minus 167. 88% of the bets, 90% of the cash have moved this line all the way down to minus 167. So 13 cents of movement from the original opener on the red side. And the total's coming down as well. 78% of the bets, 77% of the cash. This thing opened up at 9s, shooting on down to 8s. Kind of felt like we had a gambler's first glance opportunity here. Shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp. Andy Abbott. Cincinnati Reds, 3.28 ERA, 8-6 on the season. And there's Feltner. It's Feltner Day, 5.6 ERA and 1 and a dismal, paltry 7. 1-7. This guy just can't find a way to collect wins. But not so fast. 3 straight games for this Detroit Tigers team. They handled this Cincinnati Reds spot. 5-4, 5-3, 5-1, beat up this Cincinnati Reds, and they were home over the holiday with a tremendous opportunity after sweeping those Yankees. We talked about this last week. At least the assessment and the way that I look at this is when a team has a big win and they're about a week or so out from the All-Star break, that's when they lighten up on the reins. Things get a little loose. They had a big fun series, kicking the shit out of the Yankees for the first time since like 1948. Then we look at the Rockies, 3-1 in their last 4 games. They finished off a game against Milwaukee 4-3. They go off, they beat Kansas City 4-2, 3-1. And then the big boy happened yesterday. Talk about getting out of town, getaway day. They spent 9 straight days at Coors. They let off the reins. They looked forward to the travel spot, and they got waxed 10-1 by this Kansas City Royals team. I was looking at this game. I was thinking a little bit about how did I want to attack. I had to start just kind of going back to the basics. Let me think about how I feel like this game flow should take place. And I want to get to Colorado. I do. I might. I'll talk it out loud. We'll see if I come back to it. Feltner, tough. Likes to let up home runs. We're going into, obviously, a hitter-friendly ballpark. Great Americans should certainly see that happen. But the Reds, off of this weird little series with, this past go-round, just not excited about what I saw. Again, the All-Star break looming. I want to take this Reds team, or this Colorado team. I do. Full game. I want to take Colorado. Feltner still sitting with that 5.6 ERA and a 1.46 whip. Ultimately, I just looked at this thing and I thought, you know what? Let me just keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. I don't know if you guys have heard of the KISS method, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I don't need to get overly invested, overly involved. Let me just go drop a small fucking fortune on the Cincinnati Reds in the first 5 innings, over 2.5 runs at minus 115. And you know what? I did do it. I had to look back. Between my notes and then typing up the, whatever you want to call that little bubble for StreamYard here. Colorado full game plus 155. I know it's not pretty. I know it's not for the faint of heart. It is a steam report that came in on Colorado, and we saw that line had moved against that Cincinnati Reds team. Again, first glance, Andy Abbott. He should go out there and lock it down. Feltner's a piece of shit. But not so fast here. This line opened up plus 152s all the way down to plus 138s now. Double dip, though. I mean, I hate to be on both sides. I'm not really on both sides of it. I think Feltner gets touched. That's the way I approach the 2.5. And I do think that Colorado, shitbag team's still going to win 60 games a year, right? They're at 32. They happen in clusters. These real bad teams, just like the White Sox, they happen in clusters, and then you look back on it and you're like, wow, they just ripped off an 8-game win streak. They're not as bad. Then they regress. They go right back to bag of shit status, and that's the way it goes. Markel says, fuck Mike Money. I'm riding it. Playing my gut. A small fortune, says Cliff Yang. Damn. Dude, I'm not going to be one of those guys that celebrates the upping of the bankroll, but since we turned into fucking July, it's been run and gun, man. These 8 days, like some people, I'll tell you what, if you guys took the time off for the 4th of July and you're just coming back and getting in the game, I respect that. But you left a ton of money on the table. Between all these draws and unders and soccer with these quarterfinal matches, between the run that we've been on there, we had some fucking 5-2 days, some 9-1 days. It's been crazy. Mike Dallas in the house says, White Sox saying, hold my beer. That is true. That is true. Markel says, I do want to get there with the Rockies' first 5. Yeah. I just think it's tough. Out of Coors. Lengthy schedule at Coors too, by the way. So a lot of time at altitude, now driving out to a hitter-friendly ballpark. I just felt like we should see runs. And I think the Reds get them early. You know what? I saw some of you guys in respect. I see Steer, the Stacks POD and Ellie De La Cruz. I've been once bitten, twice shy, I guess, with who it is that's going to knock it out of the park for the Cincinnati Reds. I do believe they'll get runs. I do believe it'll probably happen because bases are loaded and there's probably an error or some shit like that. But Cincinnati first 5, you see it on the screen. Team total over 2.5. Maybe they even lose that first 5. 4-3. Let's say 4-3. And then Colorado does find a way to hang on, because what I liked about what I saw from Colorado is that the two games against the Rockies, specifically the first game against Kansas City, rather, they didn't quit. They got a couple runs. Kansas City answered back. They fired back again. And then that ultimately were able to get enough to get on top of Kansas City. And I mentioned this. I said this I jinxed it on Friday. Right, you guys remember on Friday when I said Kansas City is the third best hitting baseball team against right-handies at this point of the season, especially in their last 2 weeks. What are they going to do? Go into Coors against a bag of shit and not go out there and blast runs? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. We'll see. Oldie says they tried hard against Kansas City too. Twins could run it up. Gerald Jones says went 12-2, mostly all under 2.5. Yeah, man. Yeah. We were paid for being in the game is what happened there. You did not have to overthink it. It was just, I think there was only one, right? The only game that went over was that Turkey game, and we gave that over out. So anyhow, let's move on. We've got the next game of the night to talk about here. Let's go to 8-10. Speaking of hold my beer, we got the Minnesota Twins. We got the Chicago White Sox. And we've got ourselves line correction more than line movement. Maybe there's a little line movement. 85% of the bets, 93% of the cash, all over the Minnesota Twins. The line has gone from -184 to -190. The biggest move is the overcorrection now, trying to draw in White Sox action. Plus 154, now plus 175 on the home White Sox. Sexy Flexy coming out to the mound. He's sporting a 5.08 ERA. He's a bag of shit candidate at 2-7. And then there's Paddock. 5.29, 5-3 on the year. I've been saying it, man. This guy is an over waiting to happen. Goddamn out there. Kelly V says Minnesota 9-1 on the series. Kelly V says Cincinnati 8-2 versus Colorado and tend to cover the run line. Cliff Yank says, what book are you getting the total first 5? Go into, well, that was DraftKings. I know there's a bunch of different ones out there, but if you go into first X innings, you have to scroll down. It's about 2/3 of the way down that section. In the first X innings, you'll see team totals, and you'll have the option between the first 3 innings, the first 5 innings, the first 7 innings, and then obviously the game itself. So first 5 innings over 2.5. Julian Cesarius says, damn, Rangers -160. Hit them at -137 this morning. Kelly V says, Buxton -220. Hit, parlay, piece, and Vitalis. Bovada has team total first 5s also. Yep. So shop around. Those are fun little spots when you're trying to, maybe you don't want to invest on which side's going to get the job done. You just know there's going to be a potential for the pitcher to be exposed and vulnerable. And I think that's a great spot to attack. So we've done that a few times. We kind of intermittent success, but collectively we are up on the whole. So as far as this game's concerned, though, look, I had to go back to old reliable. Here's what I didn't want to do. I was essentially between 2 options. Do I play the White Sox first 5 or do I play the under 4.5? Well, with Sexy Flexy and Paddock, the under 4.5 was immediately scrubbed off the table. Take that thing right off the hop. Now, what led me to this first 5 spot, you ask? This is one of my favorite trends as of late. It's been hitting at a ridiculous amount. It is 25-2 in the 27 games that it's come up this season. Home teams, shorter than plus 164. Starter off a loss. Opponent on a 2-game winning streak. For some reason, maybe it's because they changed series. Maybe it's because they're getting out of town. I don't know what the situation is with that 2. But your starter off a shit start in a bounce back opportunity as a bigger dog, and your opponent's on that 2-game win streak. It's now 26-2. I misspoke. The Pittsburgh Pirates comfortably won earlier today. I'm not going to go the full game, though. 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Sometimes people, they get so stuck. It's the whole forest for the trees adage. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that. Can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes that's the case. And I believe this. We talked about this 2-3 weeks ago with the White Sox. These bats are coming back. They started the first 6 weeks of the season. Everybody was on the designated injury list. Shit, I got an email. I didn't really read it until too late. They asked me if I wanted to come and be a hitter for the White Sox. That's how bad they were to start the season. Some of those things have regressed, though. Now they're coming back to the middle. Here's a team that's finding a way to go out there and compete. Tough series against the Marlins. There was a lot of travel involved in that series out there. They had Cleveland on the road where they won 8-2, then lost 8-4, last two games of that series, getting out of town, that getaway spot. Then they come into Miami. They win 3-2. They lose 4-3, and then they get thumped on the getaway spot 7-4. Minnesota Twins, we talked about them. They win and they lose in bunches and clusters. They'll go on a 10-game win streak, and they'll lose 10 fucking games in a row. That's what they do. They are 3-1 in their last 4 spots out there. I will say this. If I lost a game 13-12, I'd have a hard time showing up to work the next fucking day. I'd be out gassing all night. How do we score 12 runs and lose the game? 13-12. But they came back and they fired against Houston. 9-3, 3-2. Then they got to get out of town. Now they got to go into Chicago. We talked about the pitcher in the bounce back spot. 26-2 trend out there. I do like runs. Not against runs. Flexing 8-0 to the over when he's got a total less than 11.5. He allowed 6 or more hits and 3+ strikeouts in his last start. So 6 or more hits, certainly in need of that bounce back opportunity as well. For me, though, ultimately, I'm on the White Sox. Just give me the first 5. Give me the plus 145. I'm not fucking around with the half. If you do want to mess around with the half and find out, let me tell you what that's going to look like for you. Right now, we see that the White Sox first 5 actually there's a plus 150 at Bet Rivers. Even better. The best line is not FanDuel. FanDuel's at plus 142. We got 145s, 150s across the board for the White Sox. If you're looking at that first 5 for the White Sox, you can get it at even money. There are even money spots pretty much across the board for the White Sox first 5 plus a half, but I'm not going to leave that almost half a unit on the table. I'm going to go out there and get this first 5. They'll probably shit the bed full game. That's what they do. We've seen it time and again, but I don't want to back Paddock. It's enough of Paddock. Julian Cesario says, are the Guardians line the trap of the day? How are they minus 140? It's a good question. That very well might be. I was leaning to Detroit in the first 5. I also like the first 5 over in that game as well. I thought there were going to be some runs. Ultimately, I didn't make anything official because I did think that line was super trappy. Detroit coming back off of a bunch of wins, figuring some shit out. But at the end of the day, do you want to go out there and I would rather take Detroit than Cleveland. But I know Cleveland and where they've been. Here's that team, though, I feel like comes into that spot where we've got the All-Star break coming up. Team overperformed, has a tremendous bullpen, as we've talked about time and again. And maybe there's just time for a little bit of a little respite for them boys and girls. But I do like an opportunity to take the first 5 over. Nothing official. I just have a little sprinkle on it anyways. But a game I do have some more action in for you guys here. Let's go to it. Let's talk about this Texas Rangers LA Angels spot here. A lot of you guys and girls have been talking about it today. It makes a lot of sense. We've got this LA Angels team who are officially anointed the number 1 bags of shit in all of Major League Baseball. Yep, they earned that title. You got to earn your titles around here. They went from plus 122 to 135, 74% of the bets and 85% of the cash on the Texas Rangers. This thing has dropped 4 cents, though, minus 144 to minus 140. We look at the total. This is dropping. 9's down to 8.5. 91% of the bets, 90% of the cash. On the over, it's gone from 9 to 8.5. We have Daniel, 2.7 ERA, young starter for this Angels team going out there making his 3rd start, 1-1. And then Johnny Gray, 3.92 ERA, 3-4 on the season. John Gray fell into the regression candidacy about a month ago. See, if you feel some of these things out there, this is where I talk about the forest for the trees. Everyone starts looking at numbers and they get enamored with these ERAs and shit. But the reason we use the smaller sample size is to get a better picture of what the hell are they doing right now. It don't matter what they did in April. It really doesn't matter what they did in May. Borderline doesn't matter what they did in June. As we especially move through the second week of July. But, as we look at what's been going on and you look at the Gray Wolf himself, he's a tricky guy. He's kind of got a little love-hate thing going on with this guy. 11 earned runs over his last 2 starts, went 9 innings, 3 home runs. He's been getting touched. He's been getting fucking walloped, not just touched. We do have a bounce back spot. We do have another bounce back trend. Teams just won a game. Starter who threw less innings the last start, but had a quality start the one before that. Quality start, then a shit spot. Bounce back opportunities, now 38-4, and they're winning by almost 3 runs a game in those spots out there. So what do you want to do? We look at this Angels team. Talk about kind of the dog days of summer. Rengifo, out. One of their best bats. But fuck that guy. Him and Mike Trout. 2 times I bet on those guys to get RBIs. They just do nothing but fucking roll over and almost die. You know? Now he's out of the lineup. But who's supposed to be coming back? Let me refresh. And see if it is in fact the case. Let's double check. And there he is. Confirmed. Back in the lineup. Top of the order. Third baseman. Eats bowls of shit for breakfast. Anthony Rendon, 10 at-bats, 3 hits, no home runs, 1 RBI against John Gray. What do we do when the star player comes back in the lineup? We fade the fuck away. Fade his ass. Fade. That's exactly what we're doing here. We got the pitcher in a bounce back spot. He has been leaking runs. Very similar to the approach that I made in that Cincinnati-Colorado game. I got Texas -1 now because this line is swelled. I got it earlier this morning. I can't tell you guys to take a -165. It's just not in good conscience. It's just not, I mean, you got to make your own decisions, but I certainly can't advise that. Those look like there's some -1. No. We know when Caesars has the best number, they're just full of shit and they haven't updated their files yet. 155s, 157s, 160s. But that Texas -1 is -125. I think they go out there and handle this team, especially knowing it's that bounce back spot. But there we go again. First 5 team total over. I almost parlayed these two with Cincinnati and the Angels. First 5 team totals over. Think we're exploiting bad pitching matchups? What does concern me about this Texas game? First of all, the entire fucking planet has talked about this under today. That's a big red to fuck flag right there. Huge red flag. John Gray with those 11 runs that he's let up over the last 2. I just don't know about that. But if you want to look at these lineups, we look at John Gray, tons of experience in that lineup against him, a 300, a 333, a 250. Keston Hiura, I wasn't expecting that name to pop out. He's got no experience. He must be the replacement for Rengifo. Logan O'Hope. He's got a 1.0 against this guy. Brandon Drury, a 214. Mickey Moniak, a +2 or .200. And then at the bottom, Louis Guillermo, 500 against John Gray. John Gray's going to have his hands full. The question is, how long does he go? How deep does he get into this thing? I don't know if he goes that deep. On the flip side, though, obviously none of these Texas Rangers have seen Davis Daniel. And I talked about this on the sesh. Shout out to Dabby Cab. Dabby Cab, we're 3-0 to start off I guess we're 3-1 now because we lost that tennis play. We lost Rune, but that's okay because it was a 2 spot there. We decided to play both those dogs expecting one of them to advance between the 2 since they both had sharp money options. There's Dabby Cab's play of the day. Let's get that. Where'd it go? Where did Smoke and Mirrors? Smoke, man. It took me all fucking day to recover from hanging out with you, dude. Literally. I was so tired last night. I was like, I don't even want to eat dinner. I just wanted to go to bed. That's how tired I was, bro. It was fun. We made a bunch of, look, it feels like I say that all the time. It's the expectation now. It's not the variable, but it's the expectation we're going to cash. There's Dabby Cab, the Rangers money line and Seager over 1.5 total bases. What I like about that, 2 things. One, Dabby's putting his balls on the table with a parlay option. I like that a lot. Also, he's not dropping the -1. He's going just to the money line, expecting the Rangers to get the job done against them boys in the Angels. Here's the thing I mentioned on the show earlier today with Dabby Cab and the sesh there, Dutch. That was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you do. 1, 2, 3, 4 lefties out of 9 starters in the lineup for the Texas Rangers, all confirmed. Seager, Josh Smith, Nathan Lowe, Travis Jankowski, and 2 switch hitters, Jonah Heim and Tavares, both switch hitters. Why do I mention that? because although he's young in his career, he's eaten up lefties, this Davis Daniel. He's got a 1.74. He's got a 2.69 against righties, a 1.74 against lefties. If Texas falls behind, I think they're in trouble. We talked about this earlier too today. Texas first five, Texas full game. Another way to go out there and approach it. That was a nice plus 125. And I'm not going to add that because I am on the first five team total over for the Angels. I don't want to have to, it's Monday. I got a whole week of this shit. The last thing I want to be doing is rooting to fucking split this thing right down. I don't need to thread the needle tonight. I just need to get this cash and get that payday. But last game on the card for everybody that we got here. I haven't made an official move on it. I'd love to hear what Dabby Cab thinks if he's still in the chat. As a former pitcher, Dabby Cab, if you're still there, do you think it's the advantage to have the short notice guy get pushed into there? And AKA, we see Chris Sale's been pulled out of this lineup. Is that going to be an advantage towards Atlanta or an advantage towards Arizona? What I will tell you is this, boys and girls. I mean, look at this. Line's down minus 118. Huh. Let me look over here. Stephen Harrison says, Chris Sale getting scratched took me off the under. See, I agree to some extent, Stephen, but the numbers that I have for this under don't have shit to do with the starting pitching. There's a huge trend I have for this under that has absolutely zilch to do with who the starting pitcher is. I know Chris Sale, you look at it and the obvious thing is to say he's the guy to go out and shove. And that certainly supports that under. But JPZ says Bryce Elder is not good. Dabby Cap says Arizona because Elder isn't in any routine. See, now that's the other thing. That's why I wanted to ask as a former pitcher. I know pitching routine is so particular and finicky that shit could make a difference. If I was going to play this game, I'll tell you the only way that I would play it is not the only way now. I'm inclined to take Atlanta anyways. Fuck them. Big series wins out there against Philadelphia. And they got a chance to move up the leaderboard here before the All-Star break to get some needed real estate in that NL East battle. The Mets opened up a can of kick the shit out of everybody. Philadelphia did what they've done. So Atlanta's kind of on the outside looking in. And this is an opportunity to go out there and take these fucking guys. Diaz, he's going to go out there and shut down the likes of Ozuna, Riley, Albies. I don't know. I'll tell you what I like. I'm looking at this thing with Atlanta in the under 8.5 at 300. Let's see how these first five go. If I can get these first fives in the books as W's for these team totals, then I'm going to go in there and take Atlanta in the under 8.5. I may take it anyways. I will tweet it out. I will fucking throw a short out there for you guys, and I'll give you the stats behind it. If that's the case, Kelly V says Atlanta's been trending under. Yeah. And like I said, Mike, sometimes there's two variables that could impact some of these trends that I look at as far as kind of the way that I start to cap some of these games. The first is the line, right? Like Toronto with Jose Barrios on the road, minus 125 to plus 125. We zip his ass out of there. But when that line opened up, it moved up to 136 and 140. We don't get in there. We don't fuck with Jose Barrios in that spot. The other thing I look at is, team and league trends. And some of them don't have to do with who the particular personnel are. It just has to do with how teams fall under these angles. And nothing to say shit about the starting pitching for these teams. Obviously, Chris Sale with the number. I mean, that's huge, right? Yeah. T Gray, you'll find some nines. I mean, that's, DraftKings has the 9 as well, but when they do these parlays, they beef the juice up to get to a plus 300 by dropping it to 8.5. So you could go back in and same game parlay. If you same game parlay Atlanta and the under 9, it's plus 260. So you're paying 40 cents of, really if you compound it, it's more than 40 cents of juice, but I know on paper it looks like it's 40 cents to go from plus 300 to plus 260. It's not over the aggregate, but that's math for a different day. But it shows 40 cents of change to take that extra half a run. That would be a decision you guys would have to make if you're going to go in that route. I've talked about this one long enough. I'm leaning to the Atlanta and the under 8.5, and I think I'm going to end up playing it. Let's just see what happens. I I don't care. I mean, if I was playing first five, yeah, the starting pitching matters. You see the way that I approach those two first five team total over spots. Those are definitely trying to exploit. Dustin says, eat the juice. What are we, Jose? What are we, Jose Bucat up in here? Eat the juice. What was the other one he had? I said something the other day. He drank something. Oh, he drank the soup, but he eats the juice. That was the one there, the fucking guy. I love him. And he's done a nice job with the graphics that they have over there. But anyways, boys and girls, let's go. Last game for you guys that I've got is a little tennis action. And I'll give you guys a quick recap as we roll through this thing here. As we roll time, as we're only, 55 days away from college football season. Women's tennis. Talk about these favorites. Talk about getting in there. Trying. He says that was the joke. Yeah. Kelly V says at Abby, Texas money line. Seeger hit and Simeon hit. Plus 150. Everyone hit for Texas Sunday except Simeon. Seeger 12-game hit streak. Yeah, I liked Seeger for the RBI, but he's plus 115. So that's what I was looking at over there. Good luck on y'all's baseball capping. Says Dirty Reg 22. It's great to see you. Dirty Reg 22. Dabby says, love it, Kelly V. Look, I'll keep this one short for this women's tennis battles here. These will take place tomorrow. We will have Lulu Sun and Donna Vikic. We will have Jasmine Paolini and Emma Navarro. I mean, this one's too hip to be square, or it's hip to be square. I forgot what Huey Lewis was doing, but he ain't fucking around here to try and find out. Lulu's son, cute. I don't mean physically. She might be. I haven't looked. Well, I will look now that I've said that. I will look. It's very important to the cat. Yeah, it's okay. Now that I've looked, I wish I didn't. That being said, as far as it is concerned, I mentioned this kind of at the start of the show. Lulu Sun, the talk of the tournament, everyone's excited what she's been doing, how she's been going out there. She was 1 point away from being eliminated in qualifying. Almost got zipped the hell out of there. Now she serves with power. She's young and she's aggressive. Inexperience at this point of the game, I think, is what's going to hurt her. I did see some -3.5. They're starting to move to -4. So we're starting to see some late movement on the direction of Donna V. Now, I cashed with Donna V the other day. Can't remember if I gave it out. No, I don't think I gave it out here. I gave it out somewhere. Anyways, we look at this thing, though, and she was down. 0-40, Lulu Sun. She was out. She was all intent and purpose eliminated from the tournament. It was an epic fail for Lulu Sun to be able to finish and move on to this next round. And I just think you've turned into the pumpkin at this point. We're looking at a grass player in Vikic. Huge serve as well. Destroys everything that comes across her from the baseline. So she's coming in. That ball's coming in with some zip when it gets moving out there. She doesn't move great. She's not a great side-to-side player out there. Grass, maybe not her most favorite spot to play, but I just think it's pumpkin time here. The clock has struck midnight for Lulu Sun. And again, the Steam report, -280 on the money line for Donna V has now moved from -3.5 to -4s. I parlayed her in the first leg. And then the second leg, I got to go to Emma Navarro. Not a Jasmine Paolini fan anyways. Anytime I play on this girl, she ends up losing for me to begin with. That being said, right now, Navarro is looking like a potential world number one out there. Service points are huge. She went out there and dominated Coco Gauff. Everybody was talking Coco Gauff, and she went out there and she kicked her ass. She only got broken one time. So if you guys follow the way the tennis game works, if it's your serve and somebody else earns the point against you, they broke you. Only one time did that happen because she's so fucking dominant on service points. She don't lose the serve and fall back on the other side. Her second serve returns are phenomenal as well. She is literally playing in number one top form right now. She's -185. Coco Gauff, unforced errors, definitely played sloppy. Navarro was ready, and she smacked it right back up, literally up her ass every time there was an opportunity. She's 40-15, Navarro is overall this season. She's world number 32 last year. Now number 14 in women's tennis rankings, and she's eating grass for fucking breakfast like a horse. She's 7-2, 14-5 as a professional on grass. This line's fucked. I almost, this is another one where you can get the -3.5s. I thought about both of them at 3.5, but I looked at the juice on this thing and I thought, you know what, this is reasonable at 145 to put the two of these together. Stronger players, absolutely stronger service, more experience. Jasmine Polini shows that she could battle, but Navarro's just playing. She is absolutely on the uptick right now and should eat this girl for breakfast. The other side of things, though, Lulu Sun, time to become a pumpkin. Donna Vikic to get the job done, plus 145 between the two of those. Spot that I want to get involved with. Now, a little bit later start, 8 a.m. tomorrow and 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. So you got a little bit of time if you're on the East Coast. If you live on the West Coast, you best get that stuff in overnight because you don't want to miss out. Again, a plus 145 spot to take these two favorites that should advance. Then if I had to look at the next two, are they all favorites that are going to advance? Rybakina beat the shit out of her competition. She's playing Alina Svitolina on Wednesday. No, I think Alina just too strong. The other side, though, the one that could be a live dog is Barbara Krajikova, who plays Wednesday at 6 a.m. She went out there and dominated her competition today, and it's the form. Sometimes you see like they start fucking around with injury timeouts. They're sloppy. They also start to gas where they just don't chase down they're playing like within their zone in the tennis court, and they're just not going to go chase things that they don't feel that are outside of the opportunity. To me, that's the spot to get it done. Exactly, Jay Preezy. She's lucky to be where she is, Lulu. I get it. I love the story, but it's time to make some fucking money. We're in the quarters. Barbara Krajikova, I think, is the dog that advances if you're thinking about parlaying all four of those together. I like to do that. There's a reason I'm mentioning this to you guys because we see favorites. We see the dominant players now kind of crush everybody's hopes and dreams, but there's maybe one dog. It's kind of like the UFC. Everyone overcomplicates this shit. When it's all favorites, the dog wins that last battle. Just facts. Just laws of the land. Rules of the roost, if you will. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., Spain and France. Wednesday at 3 p.m., the Netherlands and England. Stay tuned. We will have an opportunity to discuss those games. I'm trying to get together with our guy, Lou Betcha. And when that stuff drops, you guys make sure that you are ready to roll. Again, we have been straight firing since July 1st hit. We needed it. We deserve it. We work hard at this game. Dog days of summer, my ass. It's time to put that money in the pocket. I'll tell you what. I have had 3 separate cash outs since the fucking month has turned to July 1st. And believe you me, I'm taking 3 more this week. And that's because we are banging them over the head. It's no bullshit. No bullshit. We're here to get that cash. I know you guys believe it. We're here on the regular. You wouldn't be here if we didn't. And it's all about the strategy and how we go after this thing. We cast a wider net. We talked about that last week. We want to go out there and take every dollar off the table we can. If we're hitting at 60%, we got to cast that wider net. If we're losing because we're not hitting 60%, then we have to reevaluate the levers we push to be successful. Lots more to come, you guys. Appreciate MMA Jeff coming on today. He shared that parlay with you guys. Make sure you get that action as well. I'll pop that back on the screen. He had Texas and Minnesota plus 160. I jumped in. Cincinnati first half team total over 2.5. Colorado on the full game. The White Sox first 5 plus 145. The LA Angels first 5 team total over 1.5. And Texas -1 to get that juice down to -125. Here's a little plus 145 parlay. We ain't fucking around. We ain't fucking done. This is what we do to have that fun. It's summertime. I hope you guys have some fun tonight. Get a cocktail in here. It's Monday. It's the dog days. It's hot. Nice lemonade, iced tea with a splash of some vodka. I don't know. You guys figure out the cocktail piece. Let us figure out where you guys should put your money. Respect and appreciate all you guys. I love all you guys, man. Coming in, hanging out with us on the regular, supporting the growth. Can't do it without you guys. We show up and only a couple of you are there. Nobody likes and comments. I tell you, that's the most impressive thing. The likes and the comments from you guys on the YouTube channels makes me want to do this more. Makes me want to give you guys more looks, find more partners. I love working with Luke Betcha, man. Dude has great energy. I'm excited to get more involved with him. We're going to go over on his channel and do some things as well. You guys know the deal. Dan Doherty, the group has been rocking and rolling. And it's all going to lead up to a big Saturday. It's going to be a giant crescendo. We start here today. By the time we get to Saturday, we're going to have so much fucking money to work with. It's going to be pouring out of our ears, and we're going to smash those bookies with that 11-fight UFC card. Till tomorrow, you guys, pre-gaming, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m., sports money. I don't want to preach. I just want to get paid. I want you guys to get paid. Jay Peasy, Dirty Reg, Smoke and Mirrors, Clint Zerline, Deerslayer, Ski, Keith Each Every Stride, Dirty Reg 22, Justin McCalvey, Stirring Company, Tabby Cap, Nasty Nate. I love all you guys. Dustin's in there. T. Gray. Steve Harrison, man. We've been growing. We've been bringing more of you guys into the fold. I love to see it. We are a tight-knit community of winning cappers, and it's about time you come in and experience it with everybody else. Vitalis, J. Dub. It's going to be a ton of fun, Old E. Can't wait to cash with you guys tonight. We'll talk about it all tomorrow. Julian Cesario, Justin McCalvey. Until then, good luck with your bets. Get that money. Have yourself some